Hey guys, Brian Pierce here, purveyor of awesome, runner of the channel, making the videos for you guys out here on the internet. Just want to say thank you guys that have been watching my drunk review of the Peak Design Everyday Backpack. It's been great responses, so thanks everybody for the conversations and giving us comments, likes, the dislikes, whatever, and having your opinion out there. I think it's been a lot of fun. This time I am making a couple Christmas gifts for some relatives, and I wanted to document that for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy that. I think we're going to keep kind of changing up the format. I'm going to have these little making videos. I'm going to have some educational crap. I'm going to have just some regular thoughts. Probably do another drunk review in the near future. I don't see why not. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. So this one is one that I built a lamp for my brother-in-law for Christmas. Obviously, it's New Year, it's Christmas Eve right now, so Santa's coming soon. I got to get ready for all that, but I got to get this video up for you guys first. So thanks for paying attention, have fun, and enjoy the video. So I started with some leftover shiplap wood that I had from a shiplap wall that I built at Creating In Cahoots. I can link that in the description and potentially put it up as a card as well, so you guys can go check out that shiplap wall that I did. Yeah, this is my crappy miter saw. As you can tell, it's not long enough to make it all the way, so I've got to flip the boards, be extremely careful as I kind of clip that over and make sure that I make the cut all the way through. One day I'll be able to get one that can bevel, and we'll see how it goes. Now, because it's shiplap, you know, they do have the overhang. I guess you could call it the original tongue and groove. So I've got to kind of remove that so that I can get a good edge. You know, kind of trial and error to make sure that I get the cut that I want and figure that out as I kind of go along. Obviously, you can tell it didn't get it right the first time, but we're good to go now, and we're gonna cut along and get all the wood to a nice, I think it was about 7 inches that I was looking for. And it looks like I got it figured out and making it happen, removing that edge from all those guys. Now trying to put in the channel so that the face of the lamp can fit inset into the box that I'm going to be making of the lamp. It kind of sucked, to be honest. There's that little black piece, and that's the attached different safety equipment to the blade. It's been a while since I've kind of played around with trying to create a channel like this to inset anything, and so it was a little, it created some issues, and so later on you're going to see me trying to clean up some of those issues, and it just didn't work out that well. So doing some Googling, I figured out, okay, cool, you can remove that black piece there, and then it made things a lot smoother as I was trying to create that channel to get things to inset that wood a little bit better. Yeah, so you can kind of see here I'm using different kind of saws and chisels and bits to kind of try to clean that up, and I'm just like, man, this is not going very well. Luckily, I knew it was going to be inside, so some of those damaged edges weren't going to be seen. Or it was for the top, so it didn't really matter too much. Granted, it sucks in the long run. You don't really want to make shit that crappy, but you know, you do what you can, you have fun, and you keep learning, and next time I know a whole lot more going into whatever I decide to build some kind of inset box next time. So this is me, once I removed that black piece, kind of cleaning up those channels and realizing, holy crap, this is the way to do this. And it made everything a whole lot better and a lot more simple for me to get that box inset properly. A little bit of test fitting here to kind of see, okay, cool, does it look like everything's going to function the way that I think it's going to, and all that kinds of jazz. A little bit more cleaning up. Oh, look like it's going to be fine, good to go, all right. And we like it from there. Now, obviously, this is going to be a lamp, so there's electronics, you know, the fixture of the lamp itself. So because of the depth of the wood, which is almost 3/4 of an inch, I had to actually do 2 different bits. And it's because of the 2 different thicknesses I knew that I needed to inset that lamp piece a little bit, so that way it could fit in there probably about 1/4 of an inch. And of course, I don't know where my hammer is at this point in time, so I'm just using the back half of a hatchet and just kind of checking stuff out. Now measuring to see where the on-off switch can go and fit in the middle of the faceplate. It's probably a little bit bigger than I would have liked when I was designing it and getting things going, but in the long run, it is what it is. It doesn't look horrible. My wife thinks it looks great. She's like, oh no, it's okay, it's perfect sizes. So for whatever it's worth, you know, just kind of telling you guys where I'd like to make changes in the future and kind of figure it out and maybe do things a little bit different. Obviously, sanding things, starting with 120, going to 150, and then going to 220. Just making sure that everything's got a really good, clean edge on it before either a little bit of staining or the tung oil to get it on there. I've always wondered, somebody might be able to tell me, this paint probably has a bunch of lead in it that's on these old Shiplap boards. How dangerous is that? You tell me what you think in the comments. It's probably not the safest shit out there, but we'll see. So now I'm actually gluing everything up, finding the two small clamps that I have. Clamps are the worst. I don't know what about you guys, but I always seem to lose those things. They can never be found very easily. Just a little bit of wood glue, using the finger just to smear it on there. Never really had a chance to get myself any kind of real applicator. I figure I've got 10 fingers and they work pretty well. It just sucks for cleanup sometimes, and that's why applicators are a little bit nicer. You don't have to clean your fingers as much. Of course, hey, where's another clamp? Where's another clamp? I have absolutely no idea, so we're just going to go with it and see what happens. And then, of course, just some brad nails to kind of get it in there, hold it together. I don't mind about those being seen, just because of the fact that it's kind of that rustic look. Now kind of getting all the electronics together. So obviously this is a light. The plug I had already built. I got all the supplies from Vintage Wire and Supply. You can check out their website. I can give a link to the description below where I got all that stuff too on Vintage Wire and Supply. They have different kits that you can grab. Now the white cable just passes all the way through, and the black cable connects to the switch, and then the other end of the switch connects to the lamp. Hear me testing it, just an extra Halloween bulb that we had laying around. Now, I do think that I kind of screwed up here. I knew that I wanted to keep a little bit of a rustic look, and I really enjoy that barnwood red stain. I just should have done this first before I glued it up. It would have made everything a little bit more simple when trying to kind of finish everything, and obviously you want that good clean look. It probably didn't get it that as much because of the fact that I'm staining it after the fact of it being glued up, but again, it didn't turn out horrible. It's just another thing that I probably would have tried to have thought ahead and make sure that I do that earlier. Now, a little bit of the Minwax tung oil finish. Now, a lot of people online say that this isn't true tung oil and that it's actually just linseed oil labeled as tung oil. Let me know what you guys think about that. Does it need to say 100% tung oil for it to be tung oil, or is this actually tung oil and Minwax isn't lying to us and the internet thinks that we're all crazy? Who knows? It's probably just a little bit of both. So yeah, once I get that tung oil on there, then we're going to be going to hooking everything up and kind of creating a good time to make sure that the light is ready to go. You know, it sucks too is I couldn't find any lint-free cloths, so I had to deal with that. It's what it is. You just kind of make it happen and go to town in these little Christmas presents that you're going to make. Now measuring out where I'm going to put the magnets, instead of using key hooks, I'm actually going to use some little super earth magnets so that the key rings can just attach to these and just go to town that way. Going to clean it up, get some epoxy, drop the epoxy in there, and then cover up the magnets a little bit with some more epoxy. And then as they start to set, use some magnets or use the key rings to kind of bring the magnets back to the surface so they're not totally inset and they're a little bit stronger that way. Again, using my fingers is a good cleanup method. So I didn't really know if I wanted to leave the back open or not, and I decided to close it off. And I did it the way I did it, with screwing it in there and actually leaving some space, just because I didn't know about heat, and I wanted to make sure that if it needed some room, that it had some room to breathe. And then at the same time too, I screwed it on so that it was a little bit easier to remove it in the future. I do want to play around with Arduino a little bit and the Adafruit boards, and so I noticed they have a neat where you can use a cool relay and turn off and on with an app. And so I think it'd be fun, now that I know I have a lot of extra room in that box, to potentially one day go play around with Adafruit and their relays and see if I could create a little on-off Bluetooth app, you know, for this lamp. Again, really just because, not because it's that much more useful. You know, these little on-off switches and things are just a fun little analog relay, where the Adafruit is then a fun little digital relay. Now I'm cutting a little bit of a channel so that the cable, which will be inside the box, can come out and be flush against the back. I didn't want it to come directly down the center. I don't know. I kind of liked it out the back there. And yeah, so that's the way that I decided to do it. Now that I've got that, it's time to just hook everything up. Bring out the hatchet because I haven't found the hammer yet, and screw that bad boy in there, and boom, it's ready to go. Get the front on, the on-off switch, and then we'll be able to put the back on. This is a little bit tougher. My fingers just did not want to get that guy on there, but we did. Get the needle nose pliers and tighten her up, and then flip her over and put the back on, and we're almost done. Of course, I did use a staple gun to staple the cord into the board just so that way it couldn't get pulled out, just as a precaution. I didn't want that to be something that would put stress on the mating and the heat shrinking of the cables being tied together. Yeah, so let's do those about 3/4 of the way, finish them off with the hand, almost done. And it turns out that the hangers and that piece of wood luckily were the exact same depth, so that way too, once it's on the wall, they'll actually be a lot more even and it won't lean as much up against the wall. I kind of like that, the way that it turned out that way. Yeah, complete accident, but an accident for the better, so we'll see. And then just cleaning off a little bit of the plastic that I saw was left on. Yeah, on-off switch works, lights up, and boom, Bob's your uncle. Cool. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Obviously, I made a couple mistakes here and there, did some stupid stuff, but anything that you want to comment on, please do that. Obviously, if you enjoyed it, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. And if you want to leave me some thoughts, do that in the comments. If you want to give it a subscription, awesome. I've got upcoming, I did also build a beer carrier for a buddy of mine from DIY Pete's, his plans that he has out on the internet. So I'm going to be putting that video up as well, and a link to his site so I can show you guys where I got the plans from for building it. Again, yeah, watch some of the other videos, have fun. Thanks for commenting, and we'll see you on the internet.